Hi, my name is Sakshi,
Hi, my name is Arushi.
and we are presenting on the topic nutrition therapy for pregnant women. It's for our assignment for the subject clinical nutrition. So let's get started.
So, our first slide is about the introduction of the nutrition. Nutrition play an important role in a pregnant mothers and fetus during the pregnancy in their later adult life. So, improved nutrition intake has a potential to reduce complications to any disease in his life. Placenta act as a link between the circulation nutrition from the mother body to the fetus, and according to the NICE, from the calorie restriction is not advised to the pregnant lady. Maintenance of the healthy weight is recommended. Meals that are rich in starch and fibers, along with the daily consumption of fruits and vegetables, have shown positive result in achieving ideal healthy weight in a pregnant lady.
200 kilocalorie increase in the third trimester is recommended by the NCOG, which is approximately 10% of the recommendation for the non-pregnant women. And we also have seen that the carbohydrates plays an important role in fetal growth and the organ development of the fetus. It acts as a fueling material. Pregnant women should are more prone to foodborne illnesses, so special attention should be provided while preparing their food. The food which we are preparing should be free from contaminants and should be cooked at high temperature to avoid listeriosis.
As it's shown in the figure, so the 50% of the portion is in a calorie consumption goes to the vegetables and fruits, and the 25% of the calories consumption goes to protein, and the 25% goes to the whole grain and starchy vegetables.
In a daily meal, these should be the recommendations for the pregnant lady. Moving further, what are the recommendations on nutrition during the preconception? This is the time period before a lady is concepted, the fetus in her, uh, in a, in her. Many women around the world have an unhealthy lifestyle when they enter their pregnancies. Examples: they have poor quality of diet, low level of physical activity, and are involved in smoking and alcohol, which remain prevalent around at the time of consumption. So, maintaining good health and nutrition during conception is not only important, but it also eases mother's ability to meet nutrition demands during pregnancy and breastfeeding. It plays an important role in embryo development. Due to the reasons of the poor quality of diet, low level physical activity, smoking, and consumption of oil, the International Federation of Gynecology and Obstetrics panel has proposed recommendation for healthcare providers in relation to nutrition status during pregnancy as the given table. In this, professional should are involved, and they are asked about certain assessments like diet compositions, and should consider discussion points such as importance of healthy diets and exercises. uh, Another example of this is obesity risk behavior of the pregnant woman or waste circumstances, which and their point should be tobacco or alcohol, etc. Healthcare professionals should pay extra attention to body weight and BMI because maternal obesity can lead to obesity in the later childhood life, and the risk of non communicable diseases also increases.
So our next slide is about the balanced diet. So balanced diet should be compulsory during pregnancy. Micronutrients such as folate are highly recommended, which helps in the prevention of cognitive birth defects. Consumption of omega-3 LCPUFA was found to reduce the preterm birth prior to the 34th week of the gestation. Maternal calcium homeostasis and the fetal bone development are maintained by consuming vitamin D. Supplements exceeding daily references intake should be avoided. Pre-prepared food, packaged salad should be avoided in this time. If they eat this type of food, it will be goes to the higher disease and infection in the infant.
Do's and don'ts during pregnancy. So, during this period, a mother should have small and frequent meals. Hunger should be avoided for the longer period. Eat food which are rich in whole grains, whole pulses, barley, fruits, and etc. And water plays important role as and at least 1.5 to 2 liter of the water should be consumed. Mother should eat plenty of fruits and vegetables and food rich in omega 3 such as fish and walnuts. So, it is very important for the mother to avoid drinking and smoking during this periods. Coffee consumption or tea consumption should be no, should be 2 cups per day and should not exceed a limit. If they can do so, they can have a decaf tea. Decaf tea and decaf coffee are more preferable during this time. Avoid deep fried foods such as junk foods such as Chinese, etc. Consume brown bread or multigrain bread instead of white breads. Avoid excess of everything like sugar, salts, uh, jaggery, honey, and exercising regularly according to doctor advices are really important.
So about macronutrition nutrition, 10 to 35% of the energy recommended by proteins in a day and 71 gram per day. Additionally, 1 gram per day is the first trimester and the second trimester is the 8 gram per day. So third trimester is gone to the 26 gram per day. Animal protein is the higher quality than vegetable protein, as the meat is the best source of protein in an animal protein. Vegetarian diet during pregnancy cannot meet the required amount of protein and can lead to the vitamin B12, iron deficiency, and low birth weight. For vegetarian diet should be combined with supplements such as folic acid, vitamin D, iron, zinc, and vitamin B12.
Continuing, fats. The required amount is 54 to 82 grams per day during the second semester, and and it, and it increases with a little amount of 57 to 85% per day for the third one. Diet should be consistent of 20 to 30% of fats, which includes more than 10% saturated fats, 12 to 15% monosaccharide fats, and 5 to 7% polysaturated fats. Main function of these are to provide energy as deposition of fat in the fetus increases during mid pregnancy 12% to from 2% to 12%. Diet should be rich in omega 3 fatty acids, and their sources are pulses, canola oil, fish oil, flaxseed, etc. Avoid fried food as we had discussed earlier because they are rich in saturated fats and cholesterol.
So what's about carbohydrates? So the requirement of the carbohydrate is 50 to 60%. It is the main energy source in the pregnant during the pregnancy. It helps to weight gain of a fetus, placenta, and many others as a maternal tissues. So as there are some example of carbohydrates such as rice, whole grain bread, milk, fruits, starchy vegetables such as potatoes. During pregnancy, limit of sugar intake as it lead to a gestational diabetes mellitus.
Moving further to micronutrients, iron is recommended at the rate of 24 micrograms per day. It it its main function is to carry oxygen to the development for the infant iron storage. Hemoglobin iron is responsible for 25% of the iron absorption, and it can be found in seafood, meat, and poultry products, whereas non-heme iron has less more than 25% absorption is found in green and leafy vegetables like and in legumes and eggs. Inadequate intake of iron can lead to the risk of cardiovascular diseases to the offsprings. The excellent sources of the iron is beef liver and kidney beans.
So it's about the calcium and vitamin D. Uh, 1,000 microgram per day is recommended intake for calcium and vitamin D. There is a main role in the bones and teeth, and the promotes growth in a fetal bone and the teeth. So calcium help to calcification that occur in the last trimester of pregnancy. So best dietary source of the calcium is like as milk, yogurt, cheese, tofu, soybean, and the best dietary source of the vitamin D is cod liver oil and the fish.
Inadequate levels can relate to the can develop into less birth weight, risk of preterm labor, and approximate blood pressure can be increased or decreased. Folic acid and folate recommended intake for these are 600 micrograms during pregnancy and 500 microgram during lactation period. Their main function is to synthesize nucleotides and cell division to prevent birth defects. Its inadequate intake can lead to neural tube defects, cleft lip, and congenital heart diseases. Many dietary sources of folate is asparagus, spinach, broccoli, cauliflower, kidney beans, and peanuts. So these are all the references through which we made our whole presentation. Hope you gained some knowledge about the nutrition in the pregnancy period and what should we do and what should to avoid during this period. Thank you
Thank you.
and have a wonderful day.